everyone, welcome to the 12th part of the video tutorial series Learning Pandas from Zero. My name is Sheng Qilang, and in this tutorial I will be your guide in Pandas. First of all, congratulations! This is the final tutorial in this series. I thank all of you for going through this long journey to learn about Pandas. I hope that you have learned a lot about Pandas and will feel comfortable to use Pandas as your future tools for data processing. In this tutorial, I will briefly review what we have learned, and then we will talk about what we can do next. We have indeed gone through a lot of topics in how to use Pandas and how to apply Pandas for data analysis. We have first surveyed how to create a data frame from multiple formats, including a list, a dictionary, CSV file, and an Excel file. Then we examined how to call the elements in a data frame by multiple methods, including load, iLook, the data frame attribute or index. We have also showed the three notations: index notation, column notation, and list notation. Then we demonstrate how to modify the existing data in the data frame by adding, editing, or removing the data in the data frame. Then we move on to learn about how to describe a data frame. We have touched some methods which help us to describe the data structure in a data frame. And we have learned some methods which help us do the statistics about a data frame. These methods are very useful for efficiently deriving important features about the data frame we are working on. Then we have two extensive chapters talking about how to process collectively depending on the data type, whether they are numerical data or textual data. We have shown how to use the powerful method apply to help us to extract the useful features from the existing column data. We have also surveyed the important string methods which can be readily used for textual data in a data frame. Then we move on to do something more advanced. We have learned how to use the index, that is, the key of the entry to help us classify the data. We have also examined multiple formats to merge two data frames into one. We have discussed the difference between the mode inner, outer, left, and right to filter the rows we need from the data frame we want to merge. Then we discussed another powerful method, group by. This method helps us to group the column with the same value together, and then form a group by object, which is a set of labels and their corresponding subset data frame. The features in each subset data frame can be efficiently extracted by the method aggregation, or its abbreviation AGG. Finally, we have touched a new concept, pivot table, which is a derived two-dimensional table from a data frame. A pivot table collects values from selected columns and arranges them in rows and columns like a traditional table. This helps us to visualize the trend of data in multiple ways. In the last chapter, we have presented how Pandas builds the visualization tool from the Matplotlib backend. We show that these plotting tools can generate sophisticated graphs which are ready for presentation use within a few lines of code. And we have also demonstrated how to use the arguments to fine-tune the graph for our actual use. So with all these tools and skills, what can we do next? My suggestion is that we should now try to find real-life data sets to practice our data processing skills. We certainly need repeated exercise such that we do not need to consult the manual or tutorial every time when we use the Pandas library. Certainly, for very specific use, occasionally we need to refer to the documentation. But at least, it will save us a lot of time if we have in our minds the basic infrastructure of Pandas and what tools are readily available by the existing methods or API. And then you might ask, where can we find the real data set? I would suggest the one called Kaggle. It is a portal for many users around the world to upload a data set after they have used them for their individual projects. Very often the dataset is cleaned so that you can directly exercise the processing phase. There are also tasks and sample solutions provided by other users. For certain, you will gain more insight in how to work on the same dataset. Another interesting feature of Kaggle is that they have competitions to test your data analysis skills. It is for sure a good trial to see how well you have mastered the skills. But when we download a dataset from Cargo, what should we do? It can be intimidating to look at a large database when we have no concrete idea what the data is about. In that case, I would suggest a 5-step approach to do it systematically. First, we will check the basic data structure. We want to see what column or index the dataset contains, and to what extent each column is about. Then we want to orient ourselves. It is particularly important if there is no explicit task accompanied with the dataset. Then we need to set our own objective or target what we want to know about the dataset. For sure, in the beginning, we should limit ourselves to do something easy first, and then slowly add more advanced tasks as we proceed in our exploration. Then we will derive our own process pipeline what we want to extract in the dataset. Even for the same dataset, when the objective is different, the pipeline can be also very different. After the data is cleaned, we want to do some visualization. Visualization is a direct tool for us to check if there are some trends we can extract from the abstract data. We can use a lot of other data analysis tools like machine learning or standard regression method to derive a model to represent the data. Finally, we need to present the data, even though the result is most of the time done for ourselves. By clearly presenting the approach and the result, it can be a fruitful training for our future projects to efficiently communicate with others. And certainly, it will be a practice training to convert the ideas in our mind into concrete words and graphs. For certain, the aim of the exercise is to build our confidence about what we have learned in this tutorial series. It will do us no good if we feel frustrated during the exercise if the dataset is, for example, too messy or too large or too complicated to be done within a few trials. If that is the case, it is better to temporarily switch to other datasets first and return to it later. So, with all said, what will I want to do next? I've planned to do the following 3 directions for my textbook and video tutorial series. The first one is to go further as a continuation of this tutorial series. I hope to show, by using some real dataset, how the entire data processing is done from start to finish. This might touch a lot of minor techniques which we do not have time to cover in this tutorial. The second project is something I always find interesting. It's to make games by Python. I will hope to describe the process in making a game, the necessary tools, and some useful physics to make a game interesting. The last one is closer to my usual programming regime. I hope to talk about how we can use Python to do some interesting simulation in chemistry, biology, and physics, and what knowledge we can gain from these simulations. Certainly, there are lots of interesting topics waiting for us to discover. And before the end of this talk, I would like to announce a big good news. Finally, our textbook for this series, Learning Pandas from Zero, is available online for all of you. The book is open source, and I hope the book will provide complementary details about all the materials we have discussed in these video tutorials. There are also extra examples and exercises to help you understand. The ebook is available in PDF, Kindle, and Markdown format. The download link is available in the video description. Certainly, it will be great if I can receive your feedback, what can be added to the book, and what else you want to know. So this is the end of our tutorial, and also the last chapter of this video tutorial series. Thanks again for joining us the exciting adventure in Pandas, and hope that this tutorial will inspire you to start on your own or to go further to be proficient in data processing. In any case, I wish to see you all again in the next project, and I hope to bring you all more interesting demonstration about Python. See you!